Hello and good day, welcome to our YouTube channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview. Book of Jeremiah, Chapter 1. Let's get started now. The book of Jeremiah chapter 1 in the Bible is an incredibly rich and meaningful text that offers valuable lessons and teachings that can be applied in our day-to-day lives. In this essay, we will explore the meaning and lessons found within this chapter, as well as the practical applications that we can take away from it. To begin, the first chapter of the book of Jeremiah introduces us to the prophet himself, who is called by God to be a prophet to the nations. The text tells us that Jeremiah was a young man when he was called by God, and that he initially felt inadequate and unprepared for the task ahead of him. But God reassures Jeremiah, saying, "Before I formed you in the womb I knew you, and before you were born I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations." Jeremiah 1 verse 5 ESV. This verse is incredibly powerful because it speaks to the idea that God has a plan for each of our lives, and that we are all called to serve Him in different ways. Just as God had a specific plan for Jeremiah's life, He has a plan for each of us as well. It's important to remember that even when we feel inadequate or unprepared, God is with us and will equip us for the tasks that He has called us to. Another important lesson found in this chapter is the idea that obedience to God is essential. God instructs Jeremiah to speak His words to the people of Israel, and warns him that they will not listen to him because they have turned away from God. But God also promises to be with Jeremiah and protect him, as long as he remains obedient to His commands. This idea of obedience is just as relevant today as it was in Jeremiah's time. We are all called to be obedient to God's will, and to follow His commands even when it is difficult or unpopular. This can be challenging in a world that often values individualism and self-reliance over submission to a higher power. But when we trust in God and remain obedient to His commands, we can be assured that He will protect us and guide us in the right direction. The book of Jeremiah chapter 1 also emphasizes the importance of listening to God's voice. When God speaks to Jeremiah, He responds by saying, "Ah, Lord God, behold, I do not know how to speak, for I am only a youth." Jeremiah 1 verse 6 ESV. But God responds by saying, "Do not say, I am only a youth, for to all to whom I send you, you shall go, and whatever I command you, you shall speak." Jeremiah 1 verse 7 ESV. This exchange is a powerful reminder that we must be attentive to God's voice, and be willing to listen and obey when He speaks to us. It's easy to make excuses for why we can't do something, or to downplay our abilities or qualifications. But when we listen to God's voice and trust in His guidance, we can do great things for His kingdom. In conclusion, the book of Jeremiah chapter 1 is a powerful text that offers valuable lessons and teachings for our lives today. We can learn from Jeremiah's story that God has a plan for each of our lives, and that we must be obedient to His commands in order to fulfill that plan. We must also be attentive to God's voice, and trust in His guidance even when we feel inadequate or unprepared. By applying these lessons to our daily lives, we can live in accordance with God's will and make a difference in the world around us. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.